Okay.
In this video, I'll be showing you some of the best rooted apps and why you should root your device. So basically, the apps that I list in this video should convince you to root your Android device. And these are some special features that these rooted apps can give. Now, the difference between rooted apps and regular Android apps is that you have to be rooted, and it specifically requires root access. So the only way to get these apps are if you're rooted, and you can't get them if you're not rooted. It's as simple as that. Now, the app at number 10 is a great rooted app, and the app at number 1 is the best rooted app of all time. Now, before I start this video, go ahead and download the Cleaner app. It's definitely one of the best Android apps of all time. It allows you to speed up your Android device by clearing out all the files you don't need, and it really does work, and it's one of the best rooted apps, and it does establish that by being one of the most downloaded apps available in the Google Play Store. Now go ahead and download the Cleaner, and it'll be the very first link in the description down below. Now, coming in at number 10 is Screen Recorder. Now, once you go into the app right here, you'll see it, and then once you tap on it, it'll bring up this nice option. So it's shows that you can start recording, you have some settings, and then you can get rid of it. So if you tap on settings right there, you'll see the screen recorder settings. It will automatically see which device you're using, which is nice, and then it will automatically adjust to it, which is another nice feature, and it shows the resolution, and you can also do show the actual touches when you're using the device, and you can hide the notification icon, and there's an encoder for it, so it's the highest quality, and much more. And then once you do that, you can go back into it, and now you can start recording. Now, to stop recording, all you have to do is just lock the lock screen, and then it will start working. So now it's recording. It's very simple, and you can easily stop recording at any time. And then you can see that the recording was saved just like that. So it's relatively simple, and it's really easy to use, and that's what the screen recorder has to offer. Now, the next app in this video is AdBlock Plus, and with AdBlock Plus, it's a nice app, and it will basically block all the ads out. It'll block out all the main ads, and you can also filter the specific ads that you want. You can also filter the subscription and the acceptable ads, and you can hide the icon. And once you filter the subscriptions, it's a really nice and easy feature. And with AdBlock Plus, it just does as the name suggests. It's a wonderful rooted app, and it's a nice feature to have, especially if you're on websites with Flash. You have all those ads popping up, or you're just in an app and it's a free app, as free apps tend to have a lot more ads, and you can just get rid of it, and it will take away the main ads. So that's what AdBlock Plus allows you to do, and it's definitely an essential root app to have on your device. Moving on to the next app in this video is Root Explorer. Now, basically with Root Explorer, it's a file manager, so you can edit each individual file on your device. It's really nice to have. You can edit the files on your SD card, you can drag and drop files, you can copy and paste, so you can go into any file you want. You can take a look at your storage by swiping to the left, and then you'll see everything that you have here. You can search for individual files, and you can add files as well. So you can also create a new folder, file, local storage tab, external SD card, Google Drive tab, a Dropbox, and much more. And you also do have a few features, so you could sort the order by name, date, size, type, name, date, and size, and by the description of that. So that's also nice to have. And you also have the ability to close each tab, so it's really nice to have. It's very convenient, and you can go into whatever you want, and you can grant super user access depending on it. So it's a really nice app. It's very firm. It's a very staple type app, which is very basic, but it's definitely an essential app to have. Now this app doesn't have the best UI, it doesn't have the latest and greatest material design, but it does get the job done, and it gets an A+ for functionality. Moving on to the next app in this video, which is ROM Toolbox. Now going into ROM Toolbox and taking a look at what it has to offer, you'll see that you have the following. So once you go into ROM Toolbox, you can see that you have the following. So you have a ROM installer, an app manager, a root browser, and you also do have a scripter. And you also have a scripter and much more. Now if you go into your ROM installer right here, you can basically go and install custom ROMs through an app. Now you can easily go into it. It's really nice to have, and you can easily download ROMs, and you can make sure your device is rooted. You can also go into XDA and Root Wiki and all the other Android websites, which is nice to have. And you can get font packs for your Android running Android 4.0 and above. And now with ROM Toolbox, what it allows you to do, basically it bundles apps into one app. So you have ROM Toolbox and much more. And that's nice to have, and you can take a look at some font packs. You can easily download it, and you can change up your Android to your liking, and you also have some settings within it, so you can download a custom ROM through the zip, and you can also choose your backup and restore method, your file picker, and much more. And you can also get Google Apps, so the latest Google Apps. And if you swipe to the side, you have your backup and restore, your flash recovery, your ROM installer, and ROM updates. So this is the all-in-one app with ROM Toolbox, and it has also has app managers, so you can manage your app, and root browser. So it's basically the perfect app, and it's definitely an essential app to have on your device. So overall, that's ROM Toolbox, and it contains many apps within it. Now moving on to the next Android app in this video, which is Greenify. Now what Greenify does is that it allows you to increase your battery life. Now Greenify is a great app. It's straight and to the point, and it's one of the best apps to have if you're looking to increase your battery life the right way. Now with Greenify, it clears up all the battery leaching, your memory logging, and stealthy running apps. It basically allows you to enjoy it to its fullest of the app. And it's just a smooth and lasting experience, just like when you first bought your Android device. Now it's definitely root only, and that's the best part of it. So if you go into Greenify, you can choose certain apps. It shows your apps that are running in the background. So right now, Mobile Market and Shush, and also True Backup. So here are the scheduled running since the last startup of my device. And it also gives me the breakdown, which says may slow down device when these apps are open. So ES File Explorer, Audio, Startup Manager, Cal, N7 Player, and much more. And you can make it show all your apps. So and now it basically gives you a nice chart of all your apps that you're using, and you can determine all these analytics and use it to your best advantage to have the best battery life. Now going further into this app, you can see all your other apps that are running. You can also search, so you can choose a specific app as well. And there's also settings, so you can put it into hibernation mode, and much more. Now Greenify is definitely a powerful Android app, and it's definitely one of the best rooted apps, and something that you have to have on your device. Now going into the next Android app, which is number 5, and it is Xposed Installer. Now with Xposed Installer, once you go into it, now basically with Xposed Installer, it's a very unique Android app, and with Xposed Installer, it allows you to install Xposed mods. Now there's many mods to choose from, and it's basically like root mods for your device. So once you go into it, you can take a look at some of the mods. So here's what you can download. So if taking a look at it, you can see you have an awesome pop-up video type feature. You can have pop-up video for the YouTube browser. You can have a 20 megapixel superior camera for your device, 3-dot menu if you want. You can have a 4G LTE indicator switcher. You have a translucent recent. You can have the ambient display. And you have action widgets, activity force new task. And you have alarm clock plus. You have tons and tons and tons of mods to choose from that you can install onto your device with Xposed Installer. Now this is just the app that allows you to install it, and you can download it within the app as well. And you have some settings with it, so you can take a look at it, and you can choose to enable downloads, of course, and it shows you the theme that you're using with it. You can change the theme from light to dark or to black, which is useful for AMOLED screens. So Xposed Installer is definitely one of the best rooted apps, and taking a look at it, you can change up the framework and such, and you have a lot to choose from with Expose Installer, and it's one of the best Android apps to have, especially having the ability to choose from hundreds of mods to install to your device, and this is the only way to get it with Expose Installer. Now moving on to the next Android app, which is GMD Immersive Mode. Now taking a look at GMD Immersive Mode. Now GMD Immersive Mode, it allows you to use your device in different modes. So it makes your screen fully immersive and take up the whole screen display. Now you can choose from different modes, so you can choose this mode or that mode or this mode, and you can basically use your phone the full screen mode and the way it's supposed to. Now you have some general settings with it, so you can choose your notifications, your invisible icon, your start on boot, your disable lock screen. Now this will especially is good for like a Nexus 6, which has that bottom bar, and you can change that around and move it up or do whatever you want. So you can start it on boot and you can disable it in your lock screen and you can enable it, and it's definitely one of those Android apps that you don't know that you're missing, but once you use GMD Immersive Mode, you'll be definitely attached to it and it'll really make you want to have it. So that's what GMD Immersive Mode allows you to do. Now also with GMD Immersive Mode, taking a closer look, you can get rid of your status bar, and you can see without your status bar right there. It's really nice, and that's what GMD Immersive Mode allows you to do. Moving on to the next app in this video, which is Flashify. Now Flashify allows you to flash your ROMs right away, and it has lightning bolt. So this is Flashify. So it allows you to back up and restore your ROM within this app, and it allows you to flash your ROM in a very convenient manner. So you can choose the zip file to flash, and you can easily choose the file just like so, and it allows you to flash ROMs without doing the Clockwork Mod recovery or twerp recovery. It just makes it more convenient, as you can flash it within an app rather than holding down the bottom volume button, the side power button, and the home button at the same time. It's more convenient to do it within an app, and that's the main purpose of Flashify. Now you can also go to backup and restore, and it'll allow you to backup and restore, and you can see at the top there's a plus sign, so you can do a command queue for Flashify itself. And at the lock at the top you have Flashify Premium, which is also nice to have, and it gives you premium features, and you can flash as many ROMs as you want with Flashify Premium. So this is Flashify. Now coming in at number 2 in the top 10 best rooted apps video is Titanium Backup. Now once you go into Titanium Backup, you'll see it right there. And going into Titanium Backup, it's one of the ultimate best rooted apps of all time, and that's why it's at number 2. Now going into it, it's basically a powerhouse Android app. It's definitely a perfect Android app, and I highly recommend it. So it allows you to back up and restore everything on your device, and you can easily back it up to your SD card or to your device itself. It's really nice to have, and it's very convenient, and you can see what it's saying right there, so you have a quick overview, so it determines if you have root access and much more, and it has schedules, so you can schedule when to back up as well. And you can back up and restore all your apps, especially all your games, wherever you're at. It'll back that up, and once you restore to it, it'll be exactly the same. And you have some schedules, so you can schedule when you want to back up. So if you want to back up daily, weekly, monthly, or whenever, you can back it up with Titanium Backup. And it's definitely a powerhouse app and something that you have to have on your device. And you can also get the Pro version for $5.99 as well. And that's what Titanium Backup has to offer for your Android device. Now, the number 1 best rooted Android app of all time is Device Control. Now, Device Control is a relatively new Android root app, and this is why it is number 1. Now going into Device Control, you can see it has a nice material design. It's definitely updated compared to some of the other rooted apps, and taking a further look into it, you can see that it just says welcome and a lot more about the app itself. Now, if you slide to the left, you'll see what it has to offer. So it shows which device you have, and then you have the device information. So once you go into it, it'll tell you all the information about the device, the Dalvik cache, and much more, and the version it's running. And then you can see into the features, and the features says specifically the LCD power reduce, so that will reduce the brightness and in turn give you extended battery life, which is always nice to have. And then you have the performance information, so it tells you all the information about your performance in the RAM and everything about it. And then you have the CPU settings and the GPU settings, so they're both the same, so you can basically overclock your device with the CPU governor, and you can lock the governor and you can change the frequencies of the CPU settings, so that's always nice to have. And then you have the file system right here. And taking a look at the file system, you can configure it now and much more. Now, you can also take a look at the app manager it has, and you can see everything about it, and you can see the latest apps you have, and you can easily delete some of the apps as well, and that's nice to have. And you have the system, and you can take a closer look into the system, and then you can see the apps that are disabled. And looking at the tasker, you can see more items about the tasker, and you can add some to your tasker. Now, the tasker is very simple, but yet very intuitive at the same time. And you can look at the flasher, and the flasher allows you to flash ROMs, so you can flash ROMs within the app with Cyanogen mod or Clockwork mod or Open Recovery and Twerp. You can choose it, and then you have the options to backup, wipe data, and wipe cache and Dalvik cache as well. You can easily install that now, and you can hit the plus sign to start flashing your device. And you have more right here, so you can see a look at the wireless file manager and the build prop and much more. Now, device control has a plethora of features. You can change each individual part of your device with it. It's very informative, it's very intriguing at the same time, and it's one of the best rooted apps of all time. And it's especially nice to see a new rooted app with a nice material design and everything that you want in your device. It's an all-in-one app, and it's definitely one that I recommend. So this is device control, and this is the #1